So today I wanted to review and also work on my Poseidon X Ambition. This was a purchase that I made a few months ago, made some upgrades to it. It comes with 700 by 40 Kenda Happy Median tires, so they're a little knobby. And I didn't really like them. They were a little too loud, and then most of the riding I do is on pavement, so I went with something a little smoother. And then I've also upgraded the front chainring. Originally comes with a 38 tooth. I've moved that to a 44. And then also the rear, originally 11 to 48, I've gone with 11 to 38. And this gives me a bit more of the ratio that I'm looking for. All right, so let me give you a little bit of a walk around of the bike. Really nice green and orange, and then it has a carbon fiber fork. Here you can see the wheels a little better. Nice and thick. These are 700 by 35s. It's got mounting points on both sides. One thing I wish I had known, because I might have gone with the Redwood, which is their other model, is with the carbon fork, you can only have 3.5 pounds of load on either side. So I'm not really sure what to put there. Maybe a bike pump, or I guess it could be used as a bottle cage or a bottle mount, I guess. But it seems a little limiting to me, but it is what it is. I don't know if I really need it anyways. So it has micro shift. I know there's a glare, so you're kind of hard to see it. But a micro shift, 1x10. Really beautiful bike. So what I want to do today and work on it is I took it for a spin yesterday. When I say spin, I did my 16 miles. And I want to show the front wheel's pretty well set up. It's going to spin for a while, not a lot of resistance. But the back wheel, I feel like it probably needs a little bit of bearing work. It's a little tight. So I'm going to get it spun up here as best I can. This chain likes to jump a little bit too if you get it going too fast. All right, so I'm just going to let it go. And it feels okay. I mean, I'm probably just being a little, I don't say dramatic, but a little too critical of it. But I feel like it's slowing down a little too fast. The brake's not rubbing. I've checked that several times. I've shown a light down below it. I could always see both sides of it. So I think the actual axle and the bearings, this has a loose bearing since it's a quick release. It probably needs a little bit of work. So I'm going to put my old road bike up there for comparison, and then you'll see exactly what I mean. All right, so this is my Giant Defy 5. This is a 2013. This was my previous bike. And I could go really far in this bike. I did my first entry on this. I've done a few triathlons, and I got the Poseidon because I wanted something that was going to be a little more comfortable for the long haul rides. And then eventually I want to do maybe even re-engineering. I don't know if it'll be with that bike in particular, but so this bike I feel is really well set up, and I want to do the spin test comparison. So the Poseidon was a 44-11, so it was a 4-to-1 ratio. This with a 50-11 would be 4.5, which is too much. So I've shifted up to the 13 tooth gear, which gives us like a 3.84. So it's a little less actually than the Poseidon, but you'll see what I mean. And this also has the quick release. So I'm going to get it spun up. Roughly the same. It's not scientific. You'll see it's just going to keep spinning and spinning. While we do it, I guess we could do a walk around of the bike. I did a short video on this not too long ago, and I actually ended up taking this bike off of Marketplace because I think I'm just going to keep it, potentially race with it. I don't know yet. But nobody was biting at it either. So really nice. 50-34, 11-28 in the back. And it's just going to keep spinning. So I know there's a weight difference, obviously. The rims on the Poseidon are heavier. The tires are bulkier. So granted, there's going to be some of those variables, but as you can see, this is just going to keep going. And I really fine-tuned the bearings in this one. So I'm going to pull the rear wheel off the Poseidon, and we're going to get the bearings where they need to be, and then we'll do another spin test. So I took the rear wheel off, got it up here in the vise. I got the right size. In this case, it's a 15. And all we're going to do here is I'm going to take off this lock nut. Try to gingerly. I'm going to have to get another angle here. There we go. And then with that, tighten this down, came loose. I'm going to let's see if I can do it from this angle for you. Very slightly adjust the cone. I only moved a few degrees there because I think it only needs a few degrees. I gotta apologize again, because as I was editing a second time, I realized that the bearing adjustment video also cut out, and I think that's when the microphone cut out. So essentially, I did the cone adjustments like I've done in other videos, and it came out fine. I just did it a few times and talked a little bit, so you didn't miss much, but I apologize, and I'll try to make sure my microphone's charged between each video. All right, so I put everything back together, and this is actually the second video I'm recording. The microphone apparently died in between because I went back to start editing and realized that there was no sound. So between the first run and the second run, which you didn't see, the first run was about 26 seconds in terms of spinning, and then after the adjustment, we got up to 47 seconds. So we added 21 seconds, which is 180% of what we did first time. So I'm just re-recording to show you that it is smoother. This won't be the exact same run, obviously, because now I'm having to redo this. But I did want to show it. So let me get it spun up here. I probably could have had a better grip on that pedal, but it's nice and smooth. There's no play with it in the bike. So it's going to spin. I don't know if it's going to spin just as long because I didn't have as good a grip as I probably wanted, but the adjustment really helped out. And the bike overall is definitely what I wanted. I think in the future what I want to do is upgrade the wheels to the through axle. So you can actually buy it with a through axle on it already. You have to pay the extra, I think it's like $400. They also sell the conversion kit, which is what I think I'm going to do probably in the next 6 months to a year. So it comes with the adapters for the dropouts in the rear, so that those bolt in, and then you have your through axle in the rear. And then in the front, unfortunately, you can't just add an adapter. And actually what they do, let me zoom out a little bit here. What they do is they just send you a brand new carbon fork, and then you cut it, and then that comes with the dropouts ready in the bottom, or the dropouts, the through axle in the bottom, and you can buy the wheels from them as well. So the $400 would get me the entire conversion kit. So I don't know. Hey, we'll see how this breaks in, because I think it's going to break in nice too. The other thing I can do is there is a cable guide back here, and then there's an extra port that goes through for the frame here. And you can either do a dropper post, or you can do a 2x. And I think I might end up doing like a 2x in the future, depending on what I want to do long term with it. I could definitely see myself going back to like a 50-34 with some sort of 10-speed on the rear. I like this 11 to 38. The 11 to 48 was just way too much low end range for me, given the type of riding I do, which is predominantly plus or minus, let's say 4 or 5% gradient. I do a lot of flat riding just for exercise and for triathlon training, and we really don't have that many hills around here. So hope you enjoy the video. If you have any suggestions for what else I can do to the Poseidon X here, let me know. Oh, I did want to show something I've been meaning to show. This is a radio. You'd see has a long antenna you can pull out, and I shove it through the the bars down here. But this is part of the entire storage. So you got two pouches on either side, and it's supposed to be a cell phone holder. But on the long rides, I kind of get bored, but I also don't want to have earbuds in for safety reasons. So they sell this tiny little portable radio on Amazon, and it fits just perfectly. So if you're looking for something like that, there you go. And yeah, thanks for watching, and subscribe.